So to join us now to discuss this means to the world economy, what this means in the U.S. economy and your wallet specifically. We have former chairman of the White House Council of Economic Advisors and Economist, Tomas Philipson. Plus, we have economist at the American Institute for Economic Research, Paul Mueller. Gentlemen, good morning and happy Friday.
Good morning.
All right, so Tomas, we'll start with you first. Your thoughts on the tariffs?
Well, I think what people really should keep in mind is that the four big regions, EU, Canada, Mexico, and China, one region, three countries, are, the vast majority of our trade, and they have not fully settled yet. EU was obviously a great deal done by the president, surprising on both sides of the Atlantic, I think. Canada is done, but also USMCA, the trade deal we had in the first administration, is not covered by those tariffs. So that's the vast majority of imports from Canada, essentially. So it wasn't, you hear about the 35%, but that's outside of USMCA initial set of goods. Mexico is obviously delayed 3 months, so we'll see what happens. In China, we don't fully know what's happened. We know that China has the ability and intent to really hit us on our soft spots, which is rare earth minerals. So that's why I think we're stepping off a little bit from China, or they are stepping off a little bit from China.
Yeah,
sure.
A good analysis there. Paul, what are your thoughts on the tariffs? What, the expectations, that big launch, I think, was back in April, and the markets went down. And now there's been a lot of dialogue and trade deals have come in. So, how are you grading this so far with respect to President Trump and his issuing of these tariffs?
Well, there's no doubt that stock markets have been doing extremely well this year. And part of that, I think, is due to Trump's other pro-growth policies. I think, what the real question in my mind is whether we're in a bit of the honeymoon phase here with tariffs. So we've seen a great deal of revenue come in, and that's helped with the federal spending deficit. We have seen promises of various companies to onshore investment or to bring more money to the U.S. to invest. But I wonder if we haven't quite seen the cost of some of these tariffs yet. There's a lot of adjustment going on around the world in terms of importing goods and trying to rethink supply chains. So we'll have to see. The jobs report last week was not great. Maybe it was a fluke, maybe other things are going on, but it's a little bit early to tell, I think, in my opinion. It hasn't been as bad as many critics have said, and so you can give President Trump credit for that. On the other hand, I think that there's still a lot more shaking out to happen when it comes to supply chains and where things are manufactured and how many costs are passed through to consumers here in the U.S.
Sure. Well, Tomas, talk to us about the number of companies that are reinvesting here in America. I mean, Apple is one of them. Apple, my gazillion-dollar phone here, but they had their cards all in overseas, and now they're talking of manufacturing here in the U.S. at some point. It's going to take some time, but talk to us about that.
Yeah, well, economists measure what's called foreign direct investment, which is what not necessarily Apple as a domestic company, but as foreign companies or individuals invest in the U.S. That's circling around 200 or 300 billion before this year, essentially. Now we're talking trillions coming in, essentially. If you look at these trade deals, there's agreements here of trillions of dollars coming in FDI or foreign direct investment. And the good thing is about that is that it's investment coming in. The bad thing is that it's directed investment. We would like that to just voluntarily take place, maybe through even a lower corporate tax rate or more deregulation or what have you. But it is a positive that I think almost swamps some of these other issues that are being discussed with the trade deals. A lot of the trade deals, the most important things are not the tariffs. It's the non-tariff agreements on standards, for example, in Europe, where we now can produce cars and food for them that doesn't violate their standards. That's an enormous cost reduction. That was prohibitively costly to do. So it's an enormous cost reduction for these companies to come in there, essentially. So I think that focus on tariff levels per se is important, but it's not as important as some other parts of these agreements.
Right. Those are the non-tariff trade barriers I believe you were referring to.